One of the biggest things that have helped me in terms of my training and improving my results is focusing time and energy on the things that you would normally think are boring or mundane, and focusing on the little things that you think that you've got covered, but you could still improve a tiny little bit. Like things like how you're gripping the bar, things like how you're bracing, and just making sure everything is on point, always on point, even when it's lightweight, even when it's a warm-up weight, just being present and focusing on those things that might be boring to focus on. And it is boring because you've already been through this. We already know, okay, for bench press, brace, shoulders tighten back, get your wrist set in the right position, get your chest up. We all know this when we learn the exercise. But every time you go in for your workout, you still gotta try to do all those things as best as you can, or even better than you were. Because even though you're thinking you're doing it as best as you can, you could still do it a little bit better. And you have to focus on it to actually get it better. You can't just go through the motions, you have to focus on those little things. And especially when you're doing a set that makes you tired, as the set goes on, you have to focus on those little things more and more to make sure that you're able to maintain the positioning and transfer the energy to the best of your ability. And that's why those last few reps matter the most, because that's when you can either not focus and have your reps become sloppier as the set goes on, or you can focus more, and as the set goes on, you become more and more locked in and is firing more and more. And that's the key there, is just to not be complacent with what you're doing. Just keep hammering at those little things, because those little things are what add up to the big things, and those little things are what's gonna create the big change in the long run. And even with your programming, just not looking for something new and exciting that can create a quick fix, but just focusing on the long game, and just keep hammering at your weaknesses over and over and over again, and just doing the boring work. Not going for PRs all the time, not going for 1 rep maxes, just doing the volume and then doing the reps that you need to, and picking a weight that you can actually do with a good form that can help build on that.